Hey, so guys, your boy Spring, we're back at another banger. As Wanda would charge at Ojo, Ojo would block her slash. But Wanda would infuse her sword with her energy, slicing right through Ojo's katana, slicing through her arm as she would pick her up using her energy for throwing her through the window, pulling her back in the window, slamming her on the ground. As she would choke her in the air. You want to know the name of my quirk? See, the only person who knows the name of it, is my brother. Do you want to know it? It's chaos magic. Due to the, how do I say, due to the nature of my quirk, being more like magic more than a quirk, I felt the name chaos magic would be more fitting. Due to its red crimson glint. But the thing about my quirk is, sometimes I don't even think it's a quirk with how powerful it is. Some people say it's magic. Hence the name. I cause chaos with it. Then I got that word. Chaos magic. I have the smallest grip on reality. If I wanted, I could tear you from the inside out. But I won't. Because I'm like you. I'm not a monster. As all of a sudden the building would shake, as an explosion would come coming through the floor, making Wanda lose her focus, dropping Ojo. As Deku and Bakugo would come flying through the hole fighting, as Deku would put him in a chain hold, throwing him on the ground. As every step Izuku would take would start to melt the ground. As his chains would be flowing with flames, as he would be spinning them, he'd whip Bakugo with them. He would say in his mind, believe me, if I were alone, if it were just me and him, I would let the demon take over and punish him. But we're in public, so it'll have to wait. As Bakugo would put his hand on his grenade gauntlet, saying, I'll kill you! Before pulling the trigger. Wanda, get down! As the explosion would come, as Deku would jump in front of Wanda, taking the full front of the explosion head on. But then all of a sudden, an explosion of red would come out, would shine through the building. It would be Wanda using her chaos magic to enhance Izuku's body to take the blast. As she would contain it in an orb of chaos magic before dispersing it as she would pass out. As Izuku would use his chains to wrap them around the bomb, claiming the victory. Good job, Wanda. You did your best. Deku would say before picking up Wanda, jumping out of the building, using his chains to make his way down safely. Momo would go on her whole rant about dang this, da-da-da-da. As people would actually be complimenting Izuku on his quirk, saying, we didn't know you could manipulate your chains like that, as he would respond with, oh, it's just the nature of my quirk. And the fact that you could handle such explosions from Bakugo, you're really something else. Thanks. But really, the MVP is Wanda. If she didn't contain the blast, the whole building would have been destroyed. She'll be fine, though. I can tell by how she reacts that her her quirk puts a strain on her mind and her body. There used to be a rumor going around that her powers are derived from a demon. A demon? That's bullshit. Yeah, that's what we say. Alright then, well, I'm gonna go check on her in the medical bay. Let me know how the fights go. Alright, as Deku would go off to the medical base, or Masayoshi, if they know him. As he would take off his mask. You okay? Yeah. Just using my quirk drains me. I could tell. You contained an explosion that probably would have blown up the entire building. What even is the name of your quirk? It's chaos magic due to its nature. And Izuku, did you notice your hand? Your ring? No. When Bakugo sent that explosion at us, your ring, like, it glowed for like a split second. As if it was like reacting to the explosion. And like, for like the slightest second, you were covered in a pure white, like angelic-like aura. But then all of a sudden, I blink and I'm able to use my magic just enough to contain the blast as if something healed me. You think my ring healed you. That's what I think, at least. You said the ring was your gift from your father? Yeah. My father was a special person, you could say. Was he famous? He used to be a cop. No. Then I say about maybe 2 years ago, he disappeared. Oh. Yeah. I think about that long ago, at least. Hey, Wanda. Yeah? After school, do you want to train for a little bit? I can help you control your chaos magic. Sure. The next hour after school. As Deku would be helping Wanda walk out of the school. Yo, sis. Yo, Kirishima. You okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Masayoshi's just helping me walk. I told you not to use your chaos magic like that. That puts a strain on you. Anyways, thank you for helping her, bro. I owe you one. No, it's my pleasure. Oh, and by the way, later me and Wanda are gonna go train. You want to come with us? Nah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna train. I have to train with with Ojo and Bakugo later. All right. As we skip to Wanda training with Deku. Okay, so I got some books, right? I went to the library earlier. Thanks to the school giving me this card due to me being an orphan and all that. Wait, you're an orphan? Oh yeah, I never told you. Well, kind of, both of my parents are dead, and I really don't have anywhere to live, so most of the time I'm either sleeping on the streets or sleeping in abandoned warehouses. But most of the time I sleep in an abandoned warehouse. That is not a suitable lifestyle for someone like you to live. With such a powerful quirk like yours? Why don't you get a job? I tried to apply for a job, but because of my quirk, they thought it would be too dangerous because most of the time my quirk is based off my emotions. And if I have, like, kind of anger issues, I kind of burned down the last job I worked at. Ooh. Okay. I mean, my family's pretty wealthy. What does your family do? You won't judge me if I tell you. I won't judge you, believe me. I know, I will not judge. I do not judge people. Back of his head, even though I'm literally the embodiment of justice and judging, but go on, he'd say out loud. Not the whole judging and shit like that. Well, my family produces weapons for the government. Ooh, I'm intrigued to hear this one. And when we were at war a couple of years ago, my parents, one of our bombs were used against us and landed directly in our house, killing both of our parents. The only one who survived was me and my brother used his quirk to protect me. That's when my quirk kicked in. Ew. Who used your bombs against you? Just some terrorist group. But I don't like talking about it. Hey, I completely understand. But I've been doing some studying, right? On magic. I've gotten some books that might be able to help you with controlling your quirk better. Since it's based like, if it's more like a magic quirk. Okay. And I think your quirk might also help me train my quirk. Okay. Okay, so I read a book saying that telepathy, shit like that. Your quirk has telepathy and telekinesis, right? Telekinetic powers. To a certain standpoint, yeah. Okay. How about trying to make some spells? Spells? Seriously? It's 2030 and you think spells exist? Yes, okay. Yes, this timeline is set in 2030, even though most of the time my what ifs is either set between 2020 or 2022. Somewhere in that range. Because I do have another what if planned, and that what if is going to be like near in the future, like way in the future. But till then, we stick between the 20s and then 2090. That's the limit for now, at least. Maybe when I become a bigger YouTuber, I'll start making the future more yiggy. But for now, yeah. No, but I think there's a way you can do spells. Because your quirk has aspects of magic. Telekinesis, you can literally, like, to a certain extent, you can bend reality. Well, I can't really bend it. Ha! What? Nothing. But I think, because magic is clearly powerful, it made gods look pathetic. Like, you know who Merlin is, do you? Yeah, I know who Merlin is. He was considered a god by most people due to how powerful his magic was. You have powers equivalent to magic. So think about it. Maybe for all we know, your powers might actually not be a quirk at all. They might just be magic, but you don't know it. Uh-huh. So I'm thinking, let's try to make a spell. But the most basic spell I can think of that every wizard starts with when they start off, okay? A fireball spell. A fireball spell. You can already technically make fireballs, but what if you did it with incantations? You're crazy, right? A little bit, yeah. But I gotta check something real quick. So basically, there's an incantation that all basic novice. Okay, how do you know so much about this, Masa? Well, I've been doing my studying, okay? Okay, damn. I've been reading some books. I'm a bookworm. You do not look like a fucking bookworm. You look like a bodybuilder who fucking plays UFC. I don't know if I should take that as an insult or a compliment, but I'll just take it as both. And how old are you? 15? Turn 16 in a couple months. Crack. Right, so the incantation is blah 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 blah. What? I need magic incantations. Basically, the normal flame is just fireball when you just say the name out, but I think you have to use a certain type of incantation. Uh-huh. Should I be writing this down? Probably. Okay, I don't have a book. Pulls out a book. Oh, I have a book. I'm always prepared. I can tell. Jesus Christ. So, basically, since you're mad, your quirk is so unique, I don't think regular incantations would work for you. I think you might have to come up with your own incantations, like hexes. I just thought of a good hero name. What if I call myself the Scarlet Witch? That fits perfectly. You have scarlet, crimson colored powers, plus your hair. You like red, so I think it's fitting. What about you? Have you decided a hero name? Not really. Do you even want to become a hero? Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure. You good? Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. You sure you're sweating a lot? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just need some water. As you pull out a water bottle, flip the shit, drink the shit. Okay. So what do you think your incantation would be? How about Imperial Chaos Flame? That is probably the most badass incantation I've seen. Okay. Now with a glyph. Bitch, a glyph? That shit... Nigga, this is fucking 2030, not the medieval ages. Whatever, just try it. I'm working completely off of theories here, okay? Touche. As she would enhance, as her aura would flow, as she would make some fucking weird ass boot, as Deku would show her a fire glyph. Draw this with your powers. As she would draw, as she would say, Imperial Chaos Flame. As a fireball, like a more condensed and more potent fireball than what she normally does, would shoot out and destroy the entire, would just make a crater in the ground. Holy shit. Okay, maybe this might be a little bit too easy. How about a lightning spell? Because I have seen you make some sort of lightning abilities, like some sort of electrokinetic powers, but let's see if you can really do it. Electrokinesis, alright. How are we going to test this now? And what does this have to do with your quirk? We'll get to that later, but your quirk is more important than my quirk. Sure. Okay, so I have a better way. Take this chalk and infuse it with your chaos magic. But on the ground, write a circle and touch it with your hand and infuse it with chaos magic. Then think of a lightning bolt, essentially. Try to conjure a lightning bolt. Okay. So you would draw the circle, make a pentagon, like a demonic pentagon, like a... you know what I mean. As she would tap her hand on it, infusing it with chaos magic, as she would think and conjure a thunderbolt, as all of a sudden a red cloud would appear as a thunderbolt, which a lightning bolt would strike, arching the ground. Holy shit, it worked. This might help me a lot more. Okay, I think you should start writing. I think you should make a book of spells. Bitch, do I look like a wizard to you? No, but Scarlet Witch, come on. Every witch has a spell book. That's common sense. Damn it, he's right. Well, we can pick this training off tomorrow. I gotta head home. You have no parents and you have a curfew? Yeah. I just realized we're both orphans. Coincidence? I think not. Oh, shut up. Wait, can't you float? I can kind of fly for a little bit, like for 15-20 minutes. Tomorrow, we're working on that. Did you write the glyphs down? Yes, I wrote them down. Well, see ya, Wanda. Yep, see ya. Time to go out hunting, as it would be dark out. It's been a minute since I fully transformed. As Izuku would put on his mask and put on his vigilante outfit. As he would call his bike. As he would get on his bike, igniting it, transforming into the rider, full form. As he basically has zero control, so he's just letting the body go. as he would drive around the city, not killing, but punishing villains. As he would drive by Dagobah Beach again. As he would look down to see All Might, Ojo, Bakugo, and Kirishima. As he would say, I just got an idea. As he would hide his bike before transforming, as he would walk by the beach. As he would look down, pretending that he just got there, saying, oh, Kirishima, Bakugo. Oh my fucking god, is that All Might? Totally faking it. Ah, yes, young Masayoshi. Come down here. As Deku in the back of his mouth said, oh, I want to strangle him so fucking much. Why don't you chain with us? Sure, he'd say. You're still wearing your hero costume? Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm carrying it in my book bag. He's just wearing his casual clothing. Alright. Let's hold sparring matches, All Might would say. How about this? Kirishima, you can fight Masayoshi first. Alright! A rematch! Hold up. Rematch? Y'all fought before? Yep. He came over to my house for a little bit for dinner, and we had a little sparring match. Who won? He won. So I get a rematch. Hold up, he beat Kirishima? I mean, he beat Bakugo, so. Oh, shut up! My coffee's gone. I'm sad. Alright then, Masayoshi. Cracks knuckles, cracks his neck. Red Riot! As he would activate his Red Riot Awakened form. Impressive. Deku would say for dropping his chains. Let's see how long you last this time. As Deku would charge at Kirishima, jumping off the ground, kicking him in the back of his head before doing a spin kick. As Kirishima would catch his kick, spinning him in the air, punching him in the guts. Deku would do a backflip, landing it, as he would throw his chain out like fucking saying, get over here! Wrapping it around Kirishima's arm, pulling him towards him, punching him with a fire fist. I love how versatile he is with his quirk. Ojo would say he utilizes it in crazy ways, actually. The way his quirk comes in tandem with those chains of his. It's weird. Why does it feel so familiar, though, the way he fights? As Kirishima would charge at him like a fucking bull, as Deku would do a spin flip over Kirishima, landing it, wrapping his chain, because one of his chains was under the sand, waiting for Kirishima to land, as he would wrap around his leg, throwing him backwards, making him do a fucking front flip, getting slammed on the ground. As Deku can make weapons out of fire. So, he doesn't summon his daggers. Yeah, he'd summon his daggers, spitting them in the air with the chains, making a fucking fire tornado before launching it at Kirishima. As Kirishima would block that shit head on. As that was a diversion, as Deku would come up, slashing Kirishima upwards for blasting him in the face with a full force fireball. The fuck of our neighbor. As Deku would put his fist up, as he would condense his flame, uppercutting Kirishima, making a shockwave of flame, turning the sand to glass, making Kirishima fly upwards as he would jet him, and he would make an explosion of flame under his feet, jetting himself upwards before using his flame as an ignition, spin kicking Kirishima to the ground, as he would tie him up using his chains, beating Kirishima. Damn it, bro, I lost again. You'll beat me someday, don't worry. Now that's just pure arrogance, he'd say. I want to fight him next. Next? You mean next? Shut up. You won't go easy on me since I'm a girl, right? I don't believe in that bullshit. I don't go easy on anyone, female or not. I like this one, Bakugo. As she would make 2 daggers out of jade. Let's see if you can keep up though. As she would charge at Deku, jumping in the air, throwing her daggers. As Deku would effortlessly dodge, throwing his chain back at her, wrapping it around her body, throwing her to the ground. He utilizes his chains a lot, so let's see how well he fights without them. As she would encase fuck my English. Come on, Reaper, you got this. As she would encase his chains in jade, as she would say, let's see how well you fight without your chains. Who said I needed them? Deku would say. Before going hand to hand with Ojo. Now her quirk basically makes her a hand-to-hand master, but Deku is a beast when it comes to hand-to-hand because of his fire, because of the nature of his powers. As she would go to punch him in the face, as she would block it with a fucking shield made of flames, as he would spin around, making her go back flying, as she would cover herself in jade armor, as she would charge at Deku with a jade katana, as he would be blocking with one arm. I see what you're doing. You're covering yourself in an aura of fire so that my blade doesn't cut you. You're smarter than I thought you were. As he would rail his fist back, sending a fucking beam of fire, which is a skill he learned with training with Wanda, where he can actually, if he controls and condenses his fire enough, he can actually make a blast of fire instead of just a fireball, just like a fire wave. As Ojo would completely cover herself in jade, protecting herself from the blast, but that was a diversion. Deku would appear behind her, as he would say, that's not even how hot I can make my flames. As he would punch her in the face, cracking her jade, sending her flying, knocking her out. She lasted longer than you did, Kirishima. Oh, shut up. I didn't even get to use my quirk. He doesn't know. Shush. Let him know. I think he deserves to know. He's proven himself strong enough. Know what? As he already knows what One for All is. He's All Might's stepson. So, but, shit. As All Might would explain One for All to him, as he would act surprised even though he knows what One for All is. This time, Ojo is going to use One for All. Ojo, what's your max again? 30%. Deku would say. 30%? That's impressive. As Ojo would power up, as her hair would begin to spike up a little bit. I guess your jade's becoming more durable and stronger than it was before. You bet. As she would make brass knuckles out of jade. As Deku would summon his chains again. You fight with those chains a lot. I guess you could say they're incorporated. They're meant for the way I fight. He fights like an assassin, Kirishima would say. He hides in the shadows and stalks his prey, then he waits at the right moment to strike him. Yeah, plus his outfit looks more like an assassin. What's your hero costume based off of? Just an old game my mom that I used to play when I was younger. As he would grab one of his chains, which is actually a kunai, like scorpions. I will only use one chain. Let's begin. As he would charge at Ojo, kind of like how Shinra does it, where he would jet himself using flames from his feet, but he controls it using flames from his hand. As he would kick down on Ojo, making shockwaves in the ground. She would punch upwards, making a pillar of jade, sending Izuku flying. As she would send shards at Izuku. As she would make a hammer, slamming him in the ground. He would use his chain to throw the hammer away from her. She would blast jade at him. As he would dodge. I'm impressed. This one for all quirk of yours is actually strong. But before he could finish, she would already be behind him. She's fast. As she would punch him in the back. As she would pull a Todoroki, making a fucking glacier of jade. But Deku would say, oh, I got a counter for this one. As he would put his hands together for making a yin-yang like movement. As he would say, Punisher's son. As he would make a micro sun, blasting it towards her glacier, destroying it completely. Hold up, you can make suns. They're about half the heat of the sun, but yes, kind of. Must be draining, very draining. What's the hottest you can go, Masa? Honestly, I have no idea. You've never tested your limits? Nope. As Ojo would come flying behind Izuku with a scythe about to chop his head off. As he would duck down, narrowly dodging the scythe. Say, looks like somebody's mad. As he would be floating using his fire before flying at Ojo, tackling her to the ground, picking her up, flying into the air. Let's see if the Jade Princess can fly. As he would drop her. As he wouldn't be too high off the ground because he doesn't want to kill her yet. Maybe 15, 20 feet off the ground. As she would make jade wings. As she would explain, saying, this is a new skill I recently unlocked. Thanks to One For All, I can basically fly, but it's hard to keep in. Same here with my fire jet. I think I'll step it up. As he would summon his daggers. As Satan and the girl would be watching above the clouds. He's impressive. He's shown incredible feats of strength. I hear that All Might is supposedly the strongest person here, besides Deku. Let's be honest, if the boy wanted to, he could easily defeat all of them. So why doesn't he? Maybe because he wants to keep his powers a secret from them for now. Lord Lucifer. Izuku went through much pain thanks to them. So he wants to wait before he can exact his revenge. Which is why he acts weaker than he actually is. Little does he know what's inside of him, though. When will you tell him, though? I'll wait. Right now is not the right time. I'll tell him later on. If he decides to accept it. He didn't accept it. He is our enemy. I understand that. You are going to attack him or not? In a second. I want to see how this girl handles fighting Izuku. If you wish. I will return to check on you in another hour or so. Girl, master, make sure that buffoon doesn't get into too much trouble. Yes, my lord. As Deku would spin around, grabbing Ojo by her leg, pulling her towards him, punching her towards the ground. She would stop herself midair before shooting like jade feathers that are actually super sharp at Izuku. As Izuku would spin his chains, blocking and destroying every single one. As it would be a full-on air battle. He fights like an assassin, Satan would say. I know. He has the technique of a martial artist as well. His form is sloppy but impressive. As he would spin around, making a fucking whip of flame, sending it flying towards Ojo, sending her destroying one of her wings. As she would barely be able to keep herself afloat, she would fall to the ground. Zuko would catch her midair with his chains, pulling her towards him. Impressive, but I win. As he would chop her on the neck, knocking her out. As she would fall to the ground, she would catch her midair, slowly floating down. I guess we get our rematch, Bakugo. But then all of a sudden, Satan would come crashing down. For punching fucking All Might, sending him flying. As he would look at Izuku. As Izuku would say, what is he doing here? As Satan would immediately charge towards Izuku, grabbing him, slamming him to the ground. As Bakugo would jump in the air, blasting Satan on his back, as Satan wouldn't even feel the damn attack. As he would smack Bakugo away. You mortals are no match for a god. As All Might would come punching him in the face. For a human, you're actually quite impressive. As he would punch All Might again, as All Might would block it. But that was not a smart move, my dude. As he would get fucking ricocheted off the ground. I'm here for the boy. As he would punch Izuku into the ground further, as Izuku would cough up blood. Come on, child! Let it take over. Let's see how powerful you really are. As he would start going down on Izuku. Ugh. Hitting that. Oh my god, hiccups. Hitting that nigga with that. Pummeling him into the ground, literally turning the fucking sand to glass. And Izuku would catch his fist. That was not smart either, but he would barely be able to stop him from crushing him. That hurt. That's the point, he'd say, for grabbing Izuku, literally yeeting the nigga in the fucking air. As All Might would jump, catching him. Are you okay, young man? As he would cough up blood, doing a damaged thumbs up. Why is he hiding it? Maybe because they're around. As Satan would move so fast, All Might couldn't even keep up, as he would grab Izuku from All Might's arms. Let us take our fights elsewhere. As he would fly basically at the speed of fucking sound, if not light, basically teleporting. As he would land in the forest. Out here, you can go all out and no one will witness.
Just what I wanted to hear.
As a pillar of flame would erupt from Izuku as he would turn to the rider. But this time, instead of green flames, it would be pure red flames. As he would charge at Satan, punching him in his stomach, sending him flying. As he would wrap his chains around his leg, throwing him into a mountain. You're not the boy, so it must be you then. As the mysterious person controlling Izuku, I'm just gonna call Izuku, as he would summon his dagger, stabbing Satan in his arms. As all of a sudden his ring would begin to glow, as white chains made out of pure energy would begin to grab Izuku, restraining him. As he would run out in front in a rage, breaking the chain, as he would charge at Satan, punching him through a mountain. Shit, just fucking froze. As, frick, damn it, I had this fight planned out, fuck. As the controlled Izuku would make a stinking sun, but way more powerful than anyone he's made. He basically has a mini sun, like an actual mini sun. As he would drop that shit on Satan so fast, he'd be faster than Dad coming home with the milk. As Satan would take that shit head on. All of that for a drop of blood. As all of a sudden, Izuku would get sliced across his chest as blood would gush out. Stop it now, the woman would say, interrupting the fight. Lord Lucifer said you are not permitted to kill him.
I know, just roughing him up a bit.
You know what will happen if you kill him, right?
Yeah.
So stop.
Sure.
But this is where I'm leaving off part 7 to What If Izuku was the Ghost Rider.